Tom Fitton, welcome. How are you?
Hey, James. Thanks for the good word. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Tom, I went out and dug out I went out and dug out your CPAC speech from 2021. And in that speech, you said this: big media and big tech, which seem to be nothing more than left-wing advocacy groups, censored or covered this up for years, talking about the Hunter Biden corruption. And the Justice Department, the FBI, true to form, focused on protecting Biden while targeting Trump. Are you surprised by anything you're seeing coming out of the revelations of what Twitter has been up to?
Yeah, well, another piece of the puzzle has been exposed more directly, which is the censorship not only involved big tech and the big media, but it was done in concert with the FBI and other deep state agencies. And that's what we're seeing here is that, one way to rig an election is to keep away from the public eye negative information about a candidate that could impact the election outcome. And that's what happened in the days before the 2020 election, where you had big tech, in this case Twitter specifically, working hand in glove with the FBI to suppress information, not only about Hunter Biden, but suppress other content related to the administration of the elections that was in controversy at the time, which meant denigrating and suppressing Trump and his supporters.
Now, let me just turn, because I have a lot I want to cover with you. We've got big tech. Talk to us for a minute about your reaction to this J6 committee, this partisan committee, deciding they want criminal referrals for former President Trump, and they also want ethics investigations on key Republican figures.
Well, just take a step back. I mean, if you're the president of France or you're Putin, you see, oh, wait, there's one political party who wants to jail the likely contender for the presidency from the other political party. So they know what it's about. And that's, I think, Americans, even those who don't like Trump, see this for what it is, a smear job, a hit job, designed to not only obviously harass Trump, but it suggests to Americans who have concerns, legitimate concerns about the way elections have been handled and are being handled and will be handled, that they could face all sorts of blowback, including federal, state criminal investigations. So it's a dangerous time for our republic because, in some ways it's a partisan joke, but, if you're the subject of a grand jury investigation out of the Justice Department, it ain't no joke.
I want to shift gears. I want to talk to one of the many things that Judicial Watch is investigating, and this can be found, by the way, on your website, which everybody should visit almost on a daily basis. And you guys deliver newsletters. You're delivering news to people about what it is that you're doing. And we want to make people aware of that. Here's one that I found stunning from Judicial Watch. FDA records show significant number of mRNA test rats have been born with skeletal deformations. Wow, I missed that one in the legacy media. They didn't cover that at all. How do you find out about that?
Well, we had to sue the FDA for the records. Again, they know the most important vaccine in the history of modern man, right? But we can't get basic information about how they tested it and what the test showed about its safety and efficacy. And in this case, we found that they were seeing some notable increases in malformations, wavy ribs, it's called, in the litters of rats. And they're pretending it's not adverse, or they suggest it's not adverse. But others who look at this issue think that is potentially adverse and significant in analyzing the safety profile of the vaccine. And, my view is, if you want to take the vaccine, take the vaccine. But in the least, if we're going to have a debate about whether to take it and certainly whether to mandate it, we should have access to all the information possible about its safety and efficacy. And it shouldn't take a federal lawsuit by Judicial Watch to get this basic info out. It really is an outrage.
There's a story today about a Coast Guardsman who had served his country in the Coast Guard in some very, very hostile environments for 19 years. He's been thrown out. He doesn't even have benefits. He received no benefits because he refused the vaccine mandate. And this kind of stuff to me is outrageous, especially when the mandate has been declared in certain instances not valid. I don't understand how this can continue to stand, that these people who serve their country are being punished. And they are literally being punished. Their entire, in this case, this guy's entire 19-year record of amazing service to this country has just been tossed out, and he's been tossed out in the cold.
Well, that's going to be a test for this Congress, whether or not they're going to agree with Biden's continued abusive and vindictive mandate that is resulting in the punishment of so many honorable men and women in our nation's armed forces. And Congress can, I think, I'm not quite sure what the status is, but there's opposition building, and I think it may actually pass in Congress if push comes to shove here. So we'll see.
Let's turn to immigration. Title 42 looks like it's on the way out. And Judicial Watch reported the removal of criminal illegal immigrants arrested by local police in America has dropped 71% under President Biden. Meanwhile, we have ABC News reporter Martha Raddatz claiming that the immigration problem was caused by Ron DeSantis, Abbott, and others saying that the borders are open.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, the Biden administration has decided to stop enforcing the rule of law on immigration. That bleeds down into the local communities and who don't pick up illegal aliens in terms of criminal conduct the way they used to. Of course, there are other big problems with respect to the war and the police and the soft on crime approach of the left. But our border is out of control. Or even worse, it's in control of the cartels, and we're witnessing a massive human trafficking operation, that something that humanity has never seen before, and it's being aided and abetted by the Biden administration. You know,
we have undocumented minors.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We have undocumented minors that have crossed this country and come into this country in record numbers. Nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows what happened to these kids. And no one on the left, the people that claim to be the heroes of the underprivileged, are quiet. They're not saying a word about any of this.
No, they're enabling the abuse. It's more than just silence. You know, the entire left is geared towards allowing this to continue and encouraging it and regularizing it. So when I say human trafficking, that necessarily means that you have children being trafficked. It means that you have sex trafficking and abuse. It's a humanitarian nightmare.
In these remaining moments that we have, I'd like you to tell us some of the other things that are important that you're working on. And please, Tom, tell the American public how they can help Judicial Watch with your mission.
Well, you know, we're continuing to fight against this Marxist critical race theory insanity that's infecting our military. We just sued for material about what they're teaching the cadets at the Air Force Academy. We have lawsuits over West Point and what the Naval Academy has been doing. But then you have these racist discrimination programs that the left has embraced under the guise of critical race theory that we're challenging too. And, you know, that's something that undermines the very fabric of our society and our democracy, to use the word the left likes to use. And, you know, if people like this type of work, getting access to information, defending the rule of law, helping those who are being abused by the government, then they should support Judicial Watch. They can go to our website at judicialwatch.org, judicialwatch.org. Of course, we're all over social media. But, you know, get the information, support our cause, and get the word out, because our government's out of control. And there are a few ways we have, constitutionally speaking and illegally speaking, to keep it under control. And the least we can do for our liberty is to make sure we're taking advantage of those rules.
Judicialwatch.org. You will find you have really changed in the past 2-3 years. You have become much more present in delivering news on your website as well, so that people can keep up not only with what you're doing, but get a wide glance at some of the issues that are affecting all of us in this country. So I would urge people to go there, and you guys have all kind of ways where people can interact with judicialwatch.org. So judicialwatch.org.
Thank you, Buff.
Thank you, Tom Fitton, ladies and gentlemen. Judicial Watch.